Let's start with an important question. What would it be like to live on an emotional roller coaster every single day, where every interaction, every glance, every word spoken or left unsaid could trigger an internal storm? This is what many people living with borderline personality disorder, BPD, experience. Today, we are going to talk about this mental health condition that, unfortunately, is still surrounded by stigma and misunderstanding. If you know someone, or if you yourself feel trapped in a cycle of intense emotions, stick around until the end of this video to understand more about BPD and how it's possible to find paths to understanding and support. Borderline personality disorder, or simply BPD, is characterized by intense emotional instability, a persistent pattern of feeling empty, and extreme difficulty in maintaining stable relationships. Imagine living in a constant state of alertness, as if emotions were always on the brink of overflowing, from sudden euphoria to deep sadness or intense anger. This isn't something that's easily controlled. People living with BPD aren't seeking attention or being dramatic. They're trying to survive their own emotions. One of the most challenging aspects of BPD is how it affects relationships. Emotional instability leads to an intense fear of abandonment, which can result in disproportionate reactions to everyday situations, such as a delayed reply or an unanswered message. For someone with BPD, the fear of rejection can become so overwhelming that it creates a cycle. In trying desperately to avoid abandonment, they may unintentionally push people away. But it's worth remembering that despite all the pain, there are no villains here. People with BPD often have a remarkable capacity for empathy and love intensely, precisely because of how deeply they feel everything. This intensity can be an incredible strength when channeled positively. Therapies like dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, have shown promising results, helping individuals develop skills to better manage their emotions and resist impulsive behaviors. It's crucial to understand that BPD isn't a label that defines an entire person. Behind the crises and uncontrollable emotions are human beings who simply want to be understood, who fight to find stability, and who, like anyone else, yearn to connect and feel like they belong. Therefore, the support of family, friends, and mental health professionals is indispensable. Another important aspect of BPD is the role of traumatic experiences and environment in its development. Many people who develop BPD have a history of childhood trauma, such as physical or emotional abuse or neglect. These experiences can contribute to difficulties in regulating emotions and the development of dysfunctional behavior patterns. The emotional pain these individuals carry is real, and the defense mechanisms they develop are often ways of coping with this pain, even if they are harmful in the long term. Self-care and seeking healthy coping strategies are fundamental for those living with BPD. Practices such as meditation, physical exercise, and artistic activities can help alleviate stress and bring a bit more balance. Additionally, building a support network of friends and family willing to understand and offer support is extremely important. Often, simply having someone willing to listen without judgment can make all the difference. It's also essential to talk about available treatments. As mentioned, dialectical behavior therapy is one of the most effective approaches. It was specifically developed to help people with BPD find ways to regulate their emotions, improve relationships, and reduce self-destructive behaviors. This therapy teaches skills such as distress tolerance, emotional regulation, and effective communication. In some cases, medication may be prescribed to help manage specific symptoms like depression, anxiety, or impulsivity, but it's important to remember that medication is not a standalone solution and should be combined with therapy for the best results. A point that deserves emphasis is the issue of stigma. The stigma surrounding borderline personality disorder remains significant, both in society and, unfortunately, in some medical settings. Many people with BPD report being misunderstood or even judged by healthcare professionals. This makes it even harder for them to seek help and feel welcomed. It's crucial that we work to combat this stigma by promoting more knowledge and empathy towards personality disorders. Everyone deserves to be treated with respect and dignity, regardless of their mental health condition. Let's talk a bit more about what it's like to live with BPD day to day. Imagine waking up in the morning and, before even getting out of bed, feeling a flood of different emotions. Maybe it's a profound sadness with no apparent reason, or anger sparked by a past memory, or even a sense of emptiness that seems impossible to fill. Throughout the day, these feelings can shift dramatically, influenced by small things like a conversation, a glance, or even a memory that pops up unexpectedly. This instability makes each day a real battle, which is why many people with BPD feel like they're constantly on the verge of an emotional breakdown. But there are also moments of light. People with BPD often have an incredible capacity to experience joy and connection, even if these moments are fleeting. They can be extremely dedicated and passionate about what they do, and this passion is something that can be channeled into positive things. It's important to acknowledge and celebrate these moments of positivity, as they are a crucial part of the recovery journey. Celebrating small victories, like managing a difficult situation without giving in to impulses, is key to making progress. For those living with someone who has BPD, it's important to understand that seemingly irrational or exaggerated behaviors aren't conscious choices. Often, they're automatic reactions, the result of years of emotional and defensive patterns. Patience and empathy are essential. Of course, no one should tolerate abuse or harmful behaviors, but understanding what's behind these reactions can help find healthier ways to address conflicts and strengthen relationships. It's also important to discuss the role of psychoeducation. Learning about borderline personality disorder can be liberating both for those with the condition and for their family and friends. When we understand what's happening, it becomes easier to recognize the signs of an approaching crisis and apply techniques to help de-escalate it. Psychoeducation is a vital part of treatment and can be done in conjunction with a therapist, creating an environment of greater understanding and support. Another aspect often present in BPD is self-harm and self-destructive behaviors. For many, these behaviors are a way to alleviate emotional pain or feel in control when everything else seems chaotic. It's an attempt to cope with emotions that feel unbearable. Again, it's essential that there's no judgment, but rather support. Self-harm isn't attention-seeking, it's a sign of deep suffering. Seeking specialized help is crucial to finding healthier ways to deal with this pain. Living a fulfilling life with borderline personality disorder is possible. While there is no definitive cure, many people achieve significant emotional stability and build healthy relationships. This requires effort, therapy, support, and, above all, a willingness not to give up. Every step towards recovery, no matter how small, is a victory. If you or someone you know is facing this challenge, know that there are resources and possibilities for a more balanced life. Seeking help is an act of courage. You are not alone. If you enjoyed this video and think it could help more people understand borderline personality disorder, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it. And if you want to dive deeper into more mental health topics, I suggest watching our next video, which is appearing on the screen right now. Take care of your mental health, and see you next time.